Walk into any ancient cathedral, castle or timber-framed house that has survived centuries, and you'll notice something remarkable. The wood still stands firm. It hasn't crumbled, warped or rotted like most modern lumber. The secret lies in a sophisticated medieval technique for protecting timber that even today's builders struggle to replicate. This wasn't a chemical shortcut or industrial coating. It was a method born from centuries of observation, experimentation, and an intimate understanding of natural materials. Today, we're going to explore this medieval rot-proofing method and show you how to use it in your own backyard projects to create wood that can endure rain, snow, and time itself. Medieval craftsmen began with perfect wood at the right time. The journey to rot-proof wood began long before it was cut or shaped. Medieval builders carefully selected their trees, harvesting timber in late winter or early spring, when sap levels were at their lowest. Low sap wood naturally absorbed less moisture, which made it less susceptible to decay. Once felled, the timber wasn't immediately used. Instead, it was air-dried slowly for months, or even years. This patient drying process allowed the wood fibres to harden evenly, preventing cracks, warping and other weaknesses that would compromise its longevity. For backyard builders, this means starting with properly seasoned wood. Even if you're making a small bench, a shed or raised garden beds, beginning with slow-dried timber creates a foundation that will last far longer than freshly cut or fast-dried lumber. Avoid shortcuts like intense kiln drying, which can weaken the wood internally. Properly prepared timber is the first step toward a structure that stands the test of time. Charring the surface created a natural armour against rot. Once the timber was ready, medieval craftsmen often used controlled charring to protect it. By lightly exposing the wood to flame, they created a thin carbon layer that repelled moisture, insects, and fungal growth. The inner wood remained flexible and strong, while the exterior acted like armour against decay. This technique was used on everything from beams in longhouses to wooden bridges, allowing structures to survive harsh weather for decades or even centuries. You can apply this technique today using a propane torch or a small controlled fire. Hold the flame close enough to blacken the surface without burning through the wood. After charring, you'll want to gently brush away any loose soot before moving on to the next step. Charring is just perfect for things like outdoor furniture, fence posts and raised garden beds, because it creates a protective layer that dramatically extends the life of your timber. Natural oils and resins, they fortified timber almost like a living barrier. Charring alone was only part of the medieval solution. Craftsmen also treated timber with natural oils and resins. Pine tar, extracted from slowly burning pine wood or resin, was the most common. This substance penetrated deep into the wood fibres, creating a waterproof barrier while also acting as a natural antiseptic. Some applications involved multiple coatings over several weeks to ensure the wood fully absorbed the protective compounds. Timber treated in this way could, endure constant exposure to rain, snow and humidity without rotting. In your backyard, you can actually replicate this using pine tar, linseed oil or tung oil. Just warm the substance slightly and rub it into the wood fibres, focusing on those areas most exposed to the elements. This treatment works exceptionally well on outdoor furniture, raised beds, sheds and wooden tools, giving them a durability that modern chemical sealants honestly rarely match. Intelligent joinery, really amplified the wood's resilience. Even the best treated wood can fail if it's poorly joined. Medieval builders understood that how wood was assembled was just as important as how it was treated. Boards were overlapped, joints were angled, and wooden pegs were used to distribute stress evenly. Water was, always directed away from vulnerable seams, and flat surfaces that could collect moisture were definitely avoided. By combining clever joinery with surface treatments, medieval timber, could survive centuries of exposure. Backyard builders can, quite easily, adopt these principles. Slightly angled garden beds, overlapping boards in sheds, and careful spacing in furniture all allow water to drain naturally and, importantly, prevent stress on the wood. When paired with treated timber, these design choices create structures that last far longer than conventional builds. Imagine building a garden shed using softwood harvested in winter, slowly air-dried, lightly charred, and coated with pine tar. That structure will resist rain, snow, sun and pests far longer than untreated wood. Even firewood stored with these methods remains dry and decay-free, providing, reliable fuel for winters to come. Outdoor furniture, fencing and raised garden beds all benefit from these ancient techniques, transforming ordinary timber into, heirloom quality, long-lasting material. Medieval rot-proofing was not mystical. It was really the result of observation, patience, and careful application of natural materials. Applying these methods today allows you to build wood projects that resist decay, avoid harsh chemicals, and honestly achieve a durability that modern builders often fail to match. By embracing medieval techniques, seasonal harvesting, slow drying, controlled charring, natural oiling and intelligent joinery, you're not just constructing buildings, you're connecting with centuries of craftsmanship and ingenuity. Whether you're a history enthusiast, a survivalist, or, just someone who wants long-lasting natural wood in your backyard, these methods really do provide a timeless solution. If you found this guide valuable, do subscribe to our channel for more historical insights and, practical backyard wisdom. Share this video with fellow enthusiasts so the medieval approach to rot-proofing can hopefully inspire backyard projects around the world. Apply these lessons today and you'll discover that ordinary wood can endure rain, snow, and the passage of time, just like it did centuries ago.